Hello, everybody. Hope you're doing well today. This is just a quick weekend briefing to the pastors in the region. I'll not be posting this on my blog site or the regular Facebook page. I will put it on the credentials page, but basically this will go out to you, a YouTube link by email. And so today I got 7 things I want to run by you real quick, and I won't keep you long here. But first of all, number one is I want to just offer a 4th of July greeting to you. I pray that you have a great weekend, and I'm sure you probably have some kind of a special family and church family functions planned, maybe already or coming up tomorrow or Sunday or Monday. And so I pray that you have a great weekend. So you'll be in my thoughts and prayers. Sanj and I plan to be up in Williston. We'll be up almost on the Canadian border there with Brother Bennett and his congregation. Looking forward to that. But wherever you're ministering, just know that you'll be in my thoughts and prayers, and I pray for God to be with you. Second thing is I just want to give salutations to the Hathaway family. I saw several of you there at the Celebration of Life service that we had, or the family had, conducted yesterday for Brother Hathaway. Tremendous service, and the family just honored their father and family member just so well. And I salute you, and on behalf, I was privileged on behalf of the region to offer condolences and to greet the congregation. It was a packed house there in Garrison. And again, on behalf of all the ministers and the congregations to the Hathaway family, we send our prayers and best wishes to you during this transition time. And as a region, Brother Hathaway wanted, in lieu of flowers, for people that wanted to honor him, to give to special needs. And so I'm going to talk to Sister Hathaway. Been out of town for a few weeks on vacation during June, so I'll talk to Sister Hathaway and her sons, especially Alan and Paul here in the region, and get some guidance there. But maybe we as a region can make an expression of honor to this great man. He was a great leader in our region. So anyway, I'll keep you posted on that. Third thing is I just want to give you an attaboy for your faithfulness in your tithing, your tithe of tithe, and your reporting to the region. And I have attached it's a picture, but I've attached a copy of the report that Sister Jessica prepares for me. Just one that I'm very proud of. You guys have just really stepped up. Numbers, it's not about the numbers, but the numbers are about what we're doing. They are indicators. And what it indicates is that really March, April, May, through this whole COVID-19 craziness that we've been going through, you guys have stayed on task. The people have stepped up and followed your leadership, and the NCR is running strong. And I salute you, and it's a demonstration of the quality of your leadership. But I want to say thank you as well. I don't take it for granted. The tithe of tithe covenant is a covenant, but it should never be taken for granted. Just like with Jesus, the covenant, the New Testament covenant of salvation by grace. It's a covenant, and Jesus is going to come through just like you're coming through in your covenant. Jesus will come through for us, but I'd never forget that the covenant of grace cost the life of Jesus Christ, and the covenant of tithe is costing you. And so I don't take that for granted. And I'm sure on your local level, you hopefully will express that to your people as well. Their tithe is costing them. And so they have really stepped up, and I'm proud of you and proud of this region. So again, thank you for your faithfulness in your reporting. And it's an indication that God is with you, and it's an indication of your great leadership as well. So just a couple of things. The fourth thing is kind of look at the July schedule, and just a reminder that historically, traditionally, Sister Jessica has a very light schedule during July. And so I will be in the office every day. But the best way to reach me is through my mobile phone. Feel free to call me on my mobile number. I think most of you by now have it. It's 803-325-4335. And so that'll be the best way to call me. And of course, Sister Jessica will be in, but it'll be a very light schedule for her during the month of July. So just keep that in mind. Fifth thing, I do want to remind you that this coming Thursday, July the 9th at 7:30 Central Time, we'll have our monthly a regional prayer call, and I'll be sending you information out about how to log on to that next week. But just be mindful of that. Then the sixth thing that I want to remind you of, with this being the July the 4th, some version, I always did what I called a God and country service on the weekend of the July 4th. And I remember as the years went by, I remember the year just a few years ago, but it's been several years now, when the Supreme Court legalized gay marriage. And that was, I think, a watershed event in our nation, our national history. And it was very disturbing. And just on it goes as our country becomes increasingly less Christian and or Judeo-Christian, the culture, and we're taking on much more of a pagan, humanist culture in our country. It got increasingly hard for me. I had to really recalibrate how I was going to think about God and country, and include my country in my church, because ultimately our first loyalty is to the Lord Jesus Christ. We're king's men, king's women. And but we are in a country, and we're in a great country. And so I had to really work through that. And maybe you're working through that right now. And so I just want to, this is just David Kemp speaking. I'm not speaking on the authority of the Church of God necessarily, or not at all. But for what it's worth, as your administrative bishop, I want to caution you to use wisdom when it comes to God and country, and be known as a pastor, not as a politician. And I use that as be known for your pastoral care, not for your political view, maybe is a better way of putting that. And there, you have a right as a citizen in America to have a political view, and you can be for things and against things. But as a pastor, your ultimate responsibility is to be for the people and to be for Jesus Christ. And so there'll be times that you will, on any given Sunday, or on any given day, you've got to be willing to be a pastor to Democrats and a pastor to Republicans. It doesn't matter which side of the fence you're on. Personally, you've got to be able to be a pastor to liberal people that have a liberal point of view, and people that have a conservative point of view. You can be against people's political views personally, but they need to always know you are for them. And so, especially the pulpit and in your role as a pastor, when you speak, they have trouble differentiating. Like with me, people have trouble differentiating David from bishop. And I've got to always err on the side of bishop and give honor to the office that I am currently holding. Well, as pastor, that is a sacred office, and just like a doctor, when you look at a doctor, you think of a doctor as someone that is going to err on saving lives. Well, you as a pastor, they see you as a pastor. So use a lot of wisdom. Of course, preach the truth, but don't use your pulpit to be political. Use your pulpit to lift up Christ and to be for the people. You can be against their politics, but be for them. They should always know before any political thing, you are for them. You care for them. So that's just a word of caution there. And along those lines, increasingly hopelessness and despair is running in our country. You can't go through what we're going through over the last several months and this not happen. And there's a lot of hopelessness, there's a lot of despair, and even the anger we're seeing spilling out on the streets. Anger is always a secondary emotion, and it's due to underlying circumstances. And a lot of that is just fear. I don't have control of my life, and so we go and do crazy stuff like pull down statues or whatever. And so be a voice of hope. Suicides on the increase. People are just, they're checking out. And so your people are struggling. You can count on it. And so be a voice of hope from your pulpit and from in your station as a pastor to your people. So those are just for this weekend, a couple maybe words of caution. Let's don't add fuel to the fire of the fury, but let's give people hope. So, and then the last thing that I want to share with you is just take care of yourself. Maybe you're struggling with despair yourself. Maybe, I don't know, maybe to it. It's been tough. I talked to one of our pastors in the region just this week, and he's sharing his heart a little bit, and he was exactly right. He says, I feel like I'm in a vacuum. I can't make decisions. I can't plan for the future because I don't know what the future holds. And of course, we never know, but now all bets are off the table, and there's no predictability. And so take care of yourself. Work hard, do your job. I get that, and I want you to. There should be nobody in your church that works any harder than you. But on the other hand, take time for yourself. End the day on a good note, something wholesome and healthy, but end with a good laugh, maybe a good comedy or a good book, or whatever it is. Go hunting, go fishing, get out and about with your spouse and with your children, and enjoy your life. Do not allow this season to rob you of your sanity and your hope and your courage. So anyway, I just want you to know that I am for you, every one of you. I pray for you regularly. As you see these numbers, these numbers are indicators that you're working hard, that you're giving it your best. And I'm proud of you. I love you, and I honor you. I salute you, and I'm here to do whatever I can to make your life easier, make your life better. So anyway, have a great weekend. Happy 4th of July, and I'll look forward to seeing you soon. Let's run to win. Blessings.